I'm gonna start a $10 million trash collecting business. So if you wanna start a business, this video is for you. We're gonna turn this trash into cash. The first thing you need to do is get customers. And the easiest way to do that is to talk to people you already know. And the easiest way to do that is to pull up your phone, look in your contacts, and find one. Let's call Caleb.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you at that wedding?
I am, yeah.
Well, quick question for you. This may seem out of the blue. Is anyone taking out your trash?
Oh, shit. No, it's probably just sitting there smelling awful.
Do you know anybody else who might be at the wedding who's also not taking out their trash?
Probably, but what are you talking about? Like,
I know this is out of blue. I'll explain why. So right now I'm starting my little trash cleaning business. I want to help 5 or 10 people and just do my service for free. I'll do everything. And if it is good, if you're open to leave me a review, it would mean the world to me. And if it sucks, I hope you tell me so I can make it better.
dude, that would be perfect. And I'm a germaphobe. I fucking hate touching that shit.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't I do it for free? You're helping me out. If it's good and you like the service, I can talk to you about, what it would look like afterwards in like 2 weeks. Does that work?
That sounds incredible. Yeah, thank you.
And the other folks that you know, do you think you do a 3-way text intro with me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for supporting me, man. I really appreciate it. So that is number 1 of 4 different ways that one person can let other people know about their stuff. There are 8 ways in total, but today we're only going to talk about 4 of them. And they are called, unsurprisingly, the core 4. Welcome to Money Center, where we break down this week's money-making activities. Here we've got a strapping man in what appears to be a tuxedo tank top. We're gonna watch this game footage. Are you at that wedding? Interesting first question. I'm guessing this is a personalized tidbit that he found out from the social medias, doing a little pre-research or pre-search. This may seem out of the blue. Is anyone taking out your trash? Woo, man, right for the jugular. All right, let's see what was just happening. All right, so we acknowledge what they said. They were going to the wedding. The compliment was that, oh, that's nice. Now, could he have gone for a better compliment? For sure. I'd give that a 4 out of 10 on the compliment scale. Now, what he didn't do was tie it to a positive character trait. That would have been bonus points. Now, what does he do next? He asks another question and leads the conversation in whatever direction he wants to go. In this instance, talking about trash. Anytime someone is doing something that you want to do for them, they spend the same resource, which is time. And so all you have to do, whether you're selling fitness services, cleaning services, trash taking out services, IT services, whatever it is, you say, hey, how's all this stuff going? They say, great. And you say, how do you have time to insert the thing that you're trying to sell? And everyone's like, man, I wish I had more time. And you said, oh boy, I just happen to be a time salesman and I can give you some back. All right, let's go back into this game footage. It looks like he's following a script, which makes it less impressive, or does it? He's actually following a script, because if you don't know what you're doing, just stick with the script. I think that's what he's actually reading. Do you think he can read? Do you know anybody else who might be at the wedding who's also? Wow, he already assumed the close on this one and he's going for more. Do you know anybody who is looking to dream outcome, not have the trash during the wedding? As a quick tidbit, this is an outline. It's not going to be perfect, and honestly, when you do 20 or 30 or 50 of these, you'll start to find your own rhythm. These are the big things. If we're thinking about these as milestones, it's like, hey, I'm not asking them, I'm asking if they know anybody. Now, in this particular instance, the guy was like, man, he clearly exhibited the issue, but if he'd been like, no, I actually do have somebody who's taking care of the trash or whatever, a couple directions you could go there. It'd be like, awesome, are they doing it for free? And then they would say no. It'd be like, well, I will. And then boom, you could get the business. Or you just say, hey, do you know anybody who is? It's a very easy transition, so you're not asking them for business, you're not soliciting, you're asking if they know anybody. And so then you give them the reason why. Because I'm taking on 5 case studies. Now, case studies is a word that I didn't use in this, but if you said, hey, I'm taking on 5 trials or 5 people for free, and I'm just trying to get some testimonials, some reviews. Okay, let's go back to the game footage. And if it sucks, I hope you tell me so I can make it better. And we just outlined both outcome scenarios in the explanation, which is either I'm good and you leave me a review, which is my ask, or I suck and you just tell me. So either you get feedback or you get a review, and it works great. And the nice thing is, you can make money 3 different ways from somebody for free, because everybody in the stands is like, hey, you're gonna make money, give away stuff for free. Your time is valuable. Your time isn't valuable, because if it were valuable, you'd be making money. And if you're not making money right now, guess what? Value says 0. This gives you practice and feedback from friendlies, which is a great way to start. Category 1 is that they will get the free service and be like, this was awesome, keep doing it and I'll pay you. They literally just become customers. Option 2 is they then say, hey, I don't want to do this, but I'll leave you a review. So then you get a review. Version 3 of them making you money is that they just send you a friend, even if it's not them. And they could do all of those things. Somebody could leave you a review, send you a friend, and become a customer, but they could do any of those things individually. And if you want secret door number 4, they could also say, you know what, you weren't good. I don't want to send you a friend and I don't want to be a customer, but I'll tell you what you could do better. And that also makes you money in the long term.
Why don't I do it for free? You're helping me out.
And see, notice the frame. You're helping me out, letting me do this for free. It's not, hey, you owe me one because I'm doing this for free for you. Wrong frame of mind. If you come in at that, you're gonna be a weirdo and everyone's gonna sense it because you're gonna have this weird resentment towards people because you're like, I can't believe I'm giving this stuff away for free. They should be thanking me. No, they shouldn't, because you have no reputation and you have no track record. Because if you did, you wouldn't have to give it away for free. But you are because you haven't done it yet, and that's okay. And notice he's still reading from this screen, so he might not even have a brain. Brains are optional in this. That's how simple this is when you ask people who know you.
The other folks that you know, do you think you do a 3-way text intro with me?
Ooh, he snuck it back in. So remember earlier he said, hey, do you know anybody? He said, yeah, I do know some people. He remembered and said, hey, why don't we do a 3-way? Not the way you're thinking. I see you. But how do we do a 3-way intro? And the reason you do that is because if you say, hey, can you make the intro to me? They have to remember. But if you say right now, hey, do a 3-way text while I'm here, there's 2 things that happen. One is that you get the lead. And here's the second sneaky thing that happens, is that because you actually have an intro of a third party in the message group, the person who's getting introed is way less rude. Overall, I think 4.5 out of 10, maybe a 4.6. And I'm mostly giving that because of the hair and the tuxedo tank. Regardless, this goes to show you that you don't need to have a brain. You can follow half of a script and you can still get a customer by talking to people who you know and asking them if they know anybody. And just like that, you can start your trash cleaning business because there are 4 ways you can make money from free people. They become customers, they leave you a review to get you a customer, they send you a friend, or they give you feedback that can make you better so that you can eventually actually be worth what you want to charge. But there are 2 limitations. Let's walk this way. First limitation is that you only have so much time. You're gonna be calling people, you're gonna reach out to people and trying to get them to try your services or your products of some sort. You can only do that so many hours a day because it's just you. Limitation number 2 is that you only know so many people. You add up your email list, your contacts in your phone, your followers on social media across every platform that you're on. If you're on platforms, you might have 1,000 people who know you. Well, if you did 100 of those a day, in 10 days, you would have reached out to everybody. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach out to them again. You should. But at that point, you start to run into some friction. So we just got our first customers from warm outreach, as in talking to people we know one-on-one. Now we're gonna transition to getting our first customers from posting free content. Let there be light. Is it on? Cool. Wanna know the best way to get your husband to take the trash out? 2 things. Number 1, instead of saying, hey honey, will you take the trash out? You say, hey, would you mind taking the trash out? Hey, would you be opposed to taking the trash out? Would it be a huge inconvenience for you to take the trash out? If you say it like that, instead of a yes-based question, it's a no-based question, because they're like, no, it wouldn't be a huge inconvenience. I wouldn't mind at all. And then they take it for you because people are more likely to say no to things than yes, but you get them to say yes by saying no. The other way to make sure they keep doing it is that after your husband or your spouse does it, that you reward them for doing it. And that's where you say, thanks so much. That meant so much to me. It's like, you're my hero. Any of those types of things make it more likely that someone's going to do it again. Now, if you don't want to use any of these persuasion tactics, just call 1-800-ALEX-TRASH and I'll do it for you, and you can say you got it for your husband as a gift because he means so much to you. Trash is gross to everyone but me. But if you're one of those people, there's 3 ways that you can actually not have to touch your trash. Way number 1, use a bag. You take the bag, just like a pooper scooper, you take your hand, and then you can go over the whole thing, and then you dump it. Way number 2 is you use tools, like these. Go down, touch your trash, and there you go, hands free. And way number 3 is you can call 1-800-ALEX-TRASH because I love the smell of trash and I will do it for you, and you are helping somebody who actually has barely any way to smell. And so I wear these because I can't smell that good, and so this is a natural line of work for me because I get to do something that doesn't bother me at all and bothers other people. Here's how making free content works. You make free valuable stuff for your audience, so much so that they say, give us more. Give us more could either be more free value or paying you money for the services that you offer. Now, let's actually break this down in real time with these videos. Want to know the best way to get your husband to take the trash out? What was that? That was part 1 of content, which is hook. Now notice, how many seconds was that? 3 seconds in. The first 3 seconds are the most important 3 seconds in the content video. 2 things. Number 1, so notice I have a 2-step framework that I then introduce in the beginning, give step 1, give what it is, then give an explanation of why it works, and then I move on to step 2 and repeat the cycle. And so that is a retaining cycle, which you can either use lists, steps, or stories, or combinations of all 3 to keep the audience engaged. And right now, I'm going through list, steps, and stories making this. Now let's keep watching this one and see where this guy takes it. Just call 1-800-ALEX-TRASH and I'll do it for you, and you can say you got it for your husband as a gift because he means so much to you. And so the idea with the reward is that you want someone to share the last piece. So it's either something that subverts the audience, meaning something that they laugh at or think is funny, or it's some sort of action that you're gonna have them take. Now ideally here, this is funny enough that someone would send it to their friends. Now let's look at number 2 and break this one down together. Trash is gross to everyone but me. So trash is gross to everyone but me is a weird but probably effective hook, because curiosity. People are like, why is this person talking about this? And the thing with content is you're gonna make many things, and sometimes you would be surprised by what works and what doesn't. So oftentimes you can start with a crazy topic, or you can start with a crazy question, or just a fact or a statement that people might find jarring. Any of those things might catch someone's attention so that they keep watching. Way number 1, use a bag. And so each of these is an open loop. So I'm opening the loop and then I close it with what the thing is, but you're still like, well, what's number 2 and what's number 3? And the idea is that you retain them so that they watch it. And way number 3 is you can call 1-800-ALEX-TRASH, because I love the smell of trash. There you go. Fun little wrap up on the video. We've got a hook, we've got some retention tactic, which has a list, a step, or a story, and then some sort of reward or call to action at the end. And just like that, we have made 2 pieces of content following the hook, retain, reward framework that you can use for any type of business. Now, pro tip on this, if I were to start a local trash business, I would say there's one of 2 directions I would take my content in general. You could also intersplice them. One is actually talking to consumers and saying, here's some tips about trash you probably didn't know about, things that can make their life better independent of using my services. Or you could make content targeted at people who you'd want to work at your trash company. So it might be targeted more around what a salesman job or a trash collecting job might look like, so that you can attract more talent. Either of those strategies work, and you could probably do both together, because you would eventually just be known as the Trash King. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple quick tips that have worked well for me on making content. Number 1, people need to be reminded more than need to be taught. So a lot of times we have this idea that I've said this thing one time in content, therefore I should never say it again because I would be repeating myself. But it's arrogant to assume that 100% of your audience 100% of the time consumes 100% of your content, and also that if they consume something one time, they wouldn't want to consume it again, and or a version that's just slightly different from the original. You'll probably see tweet reels from me that also appear in video format for me, that also make their way into captions and full posts on the exact same concept. And then I also talk about them in podcasts. Think about yourself. Who do you follow? You probably know the themes of stuff that they're talking about on a regular basis, and you follow them because you want to be reminded. I've watched comedians do the same bit over and over again because I think it's hilarious. And so it works the same way with your own content. If people like something, make more of it. Another one is that in the content that I just showed you, I made a call to action at the end. You could obviously not make a call to action at the end at all. You could just make the content and cut it, and then that would be perfectly fine. And you could just expect that people would make comments, they would like it, or sometimes DM you anyways, just because they want to find out more. I think that one actually would work because I made the third way kind of funny. And the cool thing is that anybody who likes or engages or comments on your posts are leads, because you can then message them. A lead is a person you can contact, and an engaged lead is someone who has shown interest in the stuff that you have. We create content so that we can get people to engage, so that we can then say, hey, I saw that you engaged with my thing. That gives you a reason to reach out to them without seeming like a scumbag. And so like that is how you can generate leads for free using content. I'm gonna give you a frame shift that helped me a lot in the beginning. When you're making content, looking at the number of views can be depressing, because then you think, man, I suck, no one likes me. But I started to imagine whatever the number of views was as the size of a room I was talking in. And so if I was willing to do a lunch and learn for my trash business with 15 people in it, I was stoked. And so the idea that 17 people watch my video is a full room, it's a classroom. And so the idea that I could do that and reach them for free, just reframing it and not comparing it to what a 1 million clip view is, but just saying, what does 17 people look like? Wow, that was worth it. And if you can keep that perspective, it becomes way less discouraging. And everyone starts at this one big magical number. It's not bad. It's not you suck. It's not that you're late. Everyone starts here and you build from there. And so that is how we got our customers from our second different way to advertise, posting free content. Now we'll transition to reaching out to strangers one-on-one to get our next customer.